A Michigan town successfully blocking a Chinese energy company from buying 2 large parcels of farmland. It was in Green Charter Township. It comes as the CCP reportedly owns nearly 400,000 acres of farmland across the United States, which is estimated to be worth more than $2 billion. Tudor Dixon is a former Michigan GOP gubernatorial candidate. John Boyd Jr. is the president of the National Black Farmers Association. And then Jeff Thorne and Lori Brock are both residents of Green Charter Township, Michigan, who are leading the local opposition to this deal. Everyone, thank you so much for getting up with us this morning to talk about this. But Jeff, I want to go to you first. Tell us how you guys managed to pull this off and how you were not bullied by this situation.
Well, how we pulled it off is by the American way, the American people coming together, binding together, being in agreement with one another, and taking our constitutional rights to stand up for what we believe is our community, and we have a say in how we live and what goes on and what doesn't go on here. And so we bound together, started taking steps about 6 months ago in various ways to stand up against this.
Yeah, and we've shown numerous times the outrage from locals when they heard about what this was going to be and how this was going to happen. And like I said, you guys pulled it off, so hats off to you. But, you know, Lori, you were also a big part of this opposition, but you said this is far from over. What did you mean by that?
Just that we've got a small win here, and it was because we didn't get any help from Michigan, but we called the federal EPA in, and the federal EPA came up here and they got back some of the land for us. But they're still moving forward. They have 270 acres. And they still want to move forward. So we're going to still continue to fight them every step of the way. We don't want them here. So we're going to do whatever it takes to keep them out of our community.
And, you know, Tudor, I've spoken to you about this exact story before. I think right actually after it happened, we spoke. Should it make not just people in Michigan nervous, but people all over the country nervous? And the fact that Governor Whitmer was seemingly for this, and then you never heard President Biden come out against it. Should that concern people?
No, in fact, the Biden administration said it was okay. And yes, it should concern people that this Democrat governor came out and courted this company and then signed non-disclosure agreements around this. So we are grateful to Fox for coming out and talking about this, because it educated the residents to understand that even though there had been non-disclosure agreements signed, that they could find out that there was no environmental review of this company. They could also find out that there are direct ties to the Chinese Communist Party, which they would have never known had we not been able to report on this right here at Fox News. So I appreciate that. That allowed the residents to join together and fight this. And they were even able to fight the township board that would have circumvented the system and voted to have this property rezoned had the residents not come out and formed and demanded a referendum and had a local vote on that.
Yeah, and the two residents that we have on made it very clear they were not going to be bullied by the CCP. John, I got to ask you this question. I want to pull this map up, and I want you to take a look at this. You, of all people, know how hard it is for farmers to make it, you know, not only now, but in the U.S. history. But it's seemingly harder now. And when you look at Texas in particular, these states, these are acres of land, over 50,000 acres of land that's bought up by the CCP. So what is that going to do for the future of American farmers and really the future of America in itself?
Well, you know, this is a national disgrace on behalf of the president and the way that he's handled the China land grab. And I would like to say thank you to those folks for standing up and speaking out against this issue in Michigan. But this takes away valuable farmland from America's farmers. So here you have nearly 385,000 acres now owned by the Chinese government, more land than Bill Gates in this country. And this is a national security risk. We've been caught stealing seeds. China's been caught stealing our seeds. That's intellectual property. It's food security. And this administration isn't speaking out against it. I've reached out to President Biden to have a meeting with him to speak about these issues. And so far, I haven't been granted that meeting. And what is the Secretary of Agriculture doing, who released these numbers? What is the Secretary Vilsack, saying about the China land grant? They're buying historical black college campuses. They're buying industrial plants. All of this is happening right on the watch of this administration, the president. So I'm calling on him today to take some action. And also Congress should have a national law to put a bill out there to help to protect America's farmers. Why is China allowed to buy farmland right here in the United States, but we can't buy an acre of land in China? And people, that's wrong.
Yeah, it's an interesting point you make there with all the thousands of acres they're able to buy. But hopefully this township is more of a marker and a blueprint for the future of Americans who are going to have to go through this, because, guys, this is not the last time we're going to hear about something like this happening, unfortunately. So good for you for standing your ground and standing up for America. Jeff Thorne, Lori Brock, Tudor Dixon, and John Boyd Jr., thank you so much for your time.